Welcome back to One Last Turn and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, where currently we are heading for Corby in our Conmats distribution train for South Cave that we set up in the last episode. In this episode, we are going to try to get Corby, maybe even South Cave, but primarily Corby to become a four cargo type city, and we do that by growing the population. We have tried it before. I think we are closer now. We're just gonna have to see. And of course, like we left off in the last episode, we are going to just get tow law wired in, so to speak. Get some food up there or down there, and extend that that coal line that we have. We are gonna start off though by taking by taking a look at Corby. Food and construction materials is what we want. That's what we gotta scale. Construction materials is right here, and I think I know what we're gonna do. We're going to basically, if we take a look here in the rocks department, we aren't doing that good. Or, I mean, we're doing fine, but the Conmats feeder line, which is the one that delivers bricks to, sorry, as well as the, okay, let me let me explain that again. We have Corby Conmats on one side here, and that is completely fine, full a lot of the time. And then we have the Conmats feeder line, which is the one that goes to both to South Cave and to our cargo hub, which is currently servicing Wendover. The Corby one is fine. We could easily scale that. However, the Conmats feeder one is basically out of stones, even though there's so many, because it gets splits evenly and the rates just aren't even. That's one thing. Another thing is that Corby Conmats are all running European covered horse-drawn carriages, which is definitely an oversight on my part. Really no point in not getting those extra 5 kilometers an hour. Obviously, it is more emissions, but I think the speed and increased rate, not only for the Corby Conmats line, but also for the feeder, because basically what's happening is that the feeder cars are being throttled, which is just silly. Now, that doesn't fix this issue, but what is going to fix that issue is separating the delivery of the stone from the delivery of the construction materials. So we're going to separate that into separate lines, and that is going to change the layout a bit. It is probably going to be less profitable, but I mean, if we take a look at this Conmats feeder line here, finances, it's not really making us any money. I mean, it is, but we're just talking about like 30 to 70k per year, and the expenses are less than 200k. It's really negligible. It's not a lot compared to how much money we're making from our other lines. So I think we'll live. So that is what we're going to start out with here. Let's make a new line. I think that is going to be the easiest. This is going to be Corby con mats. Corby con mats. Stone supply. Cool. And what we're gonna do, well, we're gonna take some of our station feeders here. 26 vehicles is more than enough. I think we're gonna take, let's just take 10 of those, have 16. Sure, let's have 16 on the stone supply line. And then we're gonna edit these lines. Corby con mats is gonna avoid Corby South. So it's just gonna go up here. And there's no point in this waypoint. Probably want to keep doing this one. I wonder, maybe we move this up here somewhere. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, I think. Then I noticed that the buses were looking sort of weird. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is fine. What about the other one? One, two, three. I guess this is wrong. Manage line. Or what? So this one, the green one does this, or B1 does this, and then the point is that this one does the other way around, but it is taking quite a funny route doing that. What if I do this instead? Say Park Road to the green and to School Lane. That ends up being pretty much the same thing. Okay. I'm just wondering why they're sharing this. Well, let's get rid of all of them, and then we say Park Road, and we say the green, and then we say School Lane. Okay, so now this is different. Interesting. I guess maybe what happened is that it had chosen the wrong side of the road for the Park Road down here. I think this looks a lot better. So let's just stick with that. Cool. Start up the game, and we'll have to see how this ends up doing. Oh, and the Conmats feeder also gotta get rid of Corby South, of course. So it's just Upper Corby to Green Lane. Cool. Now, this does sort of pose a... Well, we need to change this up a little bit. It is a little unfortunate that we have this many construction materials. If we could just I was gonna say just let it run a little bit, get rid of some of them, but they are delivering stone right now. But what I want to do is I want to move this one to the opposite side of the road, because that is the way the traffic is. Because right now the input or the entrance and they're crossing each other, right? So this is it's going here, and they're crossing the ones that are coming from here. Like you see here, there's an intersection like that. They're crossing each other in an unfortunate way. Okay. So I'll move it to the other side of the road and we'll get less of that and it'll be a little bit better. So let's just empty it out a little bit. Come on. Drive. Okay, so it's not really helping. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let's get rid of this. And we will build it again on this side of the road. And I think... not quite sure how I want to lay it out. Maybe like this. Maybe like that. And of course we want these to be a little bit longer. And we also want a third one, because we are basically doing three different routes here. So on number 1, let's do conmats, and then the stone supply can be on number 3 here. If we take a look how this ends up looking, we have entrances on that side, which is fine. We can do a little bit of stuff like this to sort of optimize a bit. We make a road through here. Like so. Oh, that ended up being risen like that. I do not want that. Then I'd rather have it dig down a little bit. So now if we look at the conmats feeder, they're just gonna go in this line here. Of course, this part here is a little ugly. But we can take this and move it over there. And now it is a very good circle through. Very nice. How about the next one? Like so. I mean, it's not necessarily an issue that it goes in like that. And it isn't really... it's not interfering with the exits of this guy. So that is pretty good. And then we have this. So it would be better if they could enter on this side as well. Like that, and sure they are gonna make a circle on the inside there. Not that one. Not that one. They're gonna make a circle on the inside. But it is gonna be more efficient even so. I mean, alternatively, we would have to get a entrance here. And I guess we are a little too close for that. I guess we could move it. Should we move it? Just a tiny bit so we can avoid that circle. I mean, if we're optimizing, we might as well, right? We might as well. So something along these lines, maybe. Configure entrance, and stone supply on 3, convents feeder on 2. Corby is like that, which is fine. Stone supply is still doing that. Oh, right, because it has to exit on this side. Right. Can we just get that one? Make this an exit. Get rid of this kink in the road here. Stone supply. Oof, that is rough looking. Can we have a entrance here? We can. Yeah, I mean, they do still need to sit here per se. And they are crossing over down here to do so. That needs to be both, otherwise Corby doesn't get in. Configure, get rid of this guy. If we do it like this, they will be sort of straight. Then we can make a little bit more, a little better looking, basically roads there. Stone supply, sure, it makes a loop, but I am semi-fine with that. I guess maybe what if we let this be a entrance and an exit? How does that look? Still a loop. But I mean, it is gonna save some space like that. It's not the prettiest station, I'll admit. Definitely isn't. But yeah, I think we're gonna go with this and see what happens to the rates, basically. So stone supply is right now doing 96. I believe it's a 1-to-1. It is. We need more than that though. We need at least double. Right, consumers here. Yeah, we need at least double. So that is that is going to be interesting to see how that works out. None of the lines should be in the way of each other, which is good. Okay, so that is the construction materials, at least what we're looking at for now. 320 on the station feeder is probably a little bit overkill, to be honest. With this shortened route, probably don't need this many. How about we move for them to the stone supply instead? We'll check on the rates a little during the episode. Next up is food. Gotta increase food. Multi-step process. We're getting food from over here. Corby food distro. A lot of food waiting for us. We probably wanna make this train bigger to get more food. So let's do that. Let's just throw down a couple more cars. I guess I was a little too slow there. Let's just ask him to turn around. And get those he was missing. So that's the first step. But food gets down here somehow. How does it get down here? Well, it gets down here by these CH1 food supply trains, which are running 168. But I do believe that they are limited in grain. Yeah, because we're only doing 170. 2-to-1, obviously. That grain has two suppliers, South Cave and Boroughbridge. South Cave is maxed out. Boroughbridge is multi-stepped. We have this Ash UL grain supply 2, which goes to the cargo hub to fetch this grain that sits here, which comes from this guy, the CH1 grain supply. And CH1 grain supply is running at a rate of 126, which obviously isn't enough to satiate. So question is, or maybe not question is, but I think the solution is going to be that we simply get another one of these trains. Once he gets into the station, I think that makes for a good time to get another one. We're already double tracked, so there shouldn't be any issues there whatsoever. Cool. Manage vehicle and clone in just a sad. This is probably close enough. Let's clone him. And that is going to be good. Now, while all those things sort of balances out, let's just for a quick second check this out. Everybody's curing very nicely. Everything is going very nicely here, so that is good. tow law. Let's get it done. Extra set of tracks here. Then we can extend this track up to somewhere along this, and if we just take these back a little bit, we can connect them up like so. And we probably want a way to cross into the actual station or terminal. Cargo station down here, probably on this side of the road, so that the private traffic doesn't have to wait on too many trains when going from Tow to Burbridge. Something along these lines, maybe. Good. And of course we also need 2 tracks on this guy. And we'll do the same thing, a little crossover. And then we need a cargo terminus down here by the iron mine. Try to aim at the station just a little bit. We'll connect to the outer inner track, depending on how you look at it. And we'll just do a connection like so. That should be all good. Then we can manage coal supply, manage the line, and add a station after Halstead. It's gonna go to Burbridge transfer. Then, oh, I guess like so, Halstead, and then yeah, so Burbridge. Wendover North, Halstead, Burbridge transfer, and then Halstead again. Let's see, how does that look? Looks wrong, because we don't have any crossing here. That should be fixable. No loading at Halstead, but it can unload. I mean, I guess whatever, but it's only really gonna be coal and iron. And of course that crossing there. I say of course, but it doesn't really seem like it was enough. So let's get in some... that should have been a one-way. Let's get in some lights here, some signals. And there we have it. A brand new steel route. Very nice. Guess we then just need some plastic, and then we actually have goods up in Tow Law. No plastics inside though, but that actually hadn't seen that or thought of it. Maybe it's new. Might have noticed a little quickly there that we got a new vehicle. Let's check it out. Postbus ET13, a diesel powered passenger transportation, 25 kilometers. So and increase capacity and loading speed and emissions, of course, and weight, but it could make sense to start using those so we don't get congestion when running DMGs together with sort of slower buses. I do sort of like that. So if we can open all of our bus routes here, we have 23 vehicles, and let's just replace them all with the post bus. And that sort of fixes that issue for us, so to speak. Wonderful. Now, heading back to Corby a little bit, and the new setup. Nearly 300 rate on the stone supply now. That is good. And we have the construction materials plant looking to level up a little bit soon, it seems. How about Comet's feeder to Corby, or Corby? One that is doing, I mean, it's doing a lot, 133. It doesn't seem like Corby has gotten them all yet, but we're getting up there, which is very nice. And then of course we have the Comet's feeder doing 325, which seems a little overkill, if I'm being honest, because we're supplying just Wendover and South Cave, and neither of those really needs that amount, so maybe we get rid of 4 of them. Let's move them to the stone supply, see how that sort of turns out. Maybe stone supply ends up maxing out this quarry. That wouldn't be the end of the world if that were to happen. Food, how's it looking? Might want to add a few platforms and maybe a large cargo building on this one over here so we don't lose any of our precious food. Maybe we need to get, okay, let's see, food distribution is running at a rate of 92 if it can be supplied that, but delivery is running 64, so we probably want to get at least one more, right? And then we do have very poor emissions. So we might want to... Let's take a look here. It's not like it's that much. We only have a few mediocre and then a few good. Then we just have a lot of very good vehicles that actually get into Corby, right? So the rest are sort of staying out here, but that doesn't really have an effect as far as I know. As far as I know, I'm not like perfect at that for sure. But I do think it's just the residential areas, how they're affected. And they're sitting at this 72, 73, 74 a little bit, which is obviously it's high. We'd want to be lower, but don't really think we can do much about it with the vehicles we have at our disposal. Apart from those few ones that we could turn down by 2, but I don't think that's what's gonna gonna do it. Average is 73. What if we look at Wendover? Is poor, average is 70. Well, what's going on here? Whoops. We have a little bit of congestion because 3 different things are being delivered to the same stop. That is obviously not that efficient. Because unloading is quite slow. What do we have there? The issue just is that, I mean, we can definitely move the bricks one if we wanted to. We could do that. We could move it over here. So let's just do that and then leave the other 2 con mats, manage line, go to Church Street instead of New Road. I think that's gonna help out a little bit with that congestion at least. We really need some new trucks with some more capacity for deliveries. I am tempted to go full speed on date. I think it's about time. We did just sort of get the trains and stuff, and fingers crossed that doesn't become too obsolete too quickly, but I do sort of want those new trucks. I'm not sure when they arrive, but I would like them. Okay, so an issue here, maybe not so much a complete issue, but we are sort of at a point where our rate isn't gonna increase really because we're basically maxing out the amount of vehicles with the unloading time there. So I'm just gonna get rid of 2 of them, of the worst ones. Okay, and we got some goods to South Cape, which is nice. And it seems like Conmats for South Cape is doing well. Oh, and it's doing a little too well compared to this. Let's just do the same thing we did in Corby. Don't want to lose any of those. We are only running 2 vehicles, which definitely isn't enough. Let's just get 2 more to begin with. See how that changes things. What is our rate here on Conmat? 71. Okay. So we might need to split this from being just cargo to being 1 for Conmats and 1 for goods. What I wanted to check was food, or grain and food. See how everything is looking there. We have food on station, and it's just waiting for room, which is fine. That happens. There's food supply just coming in. Grain. Okay. I mean, we have food on station, even though we updated the train, so I think we're probably at a point where we could add that other train to Tola. And we probably want a bit better train than the G3 just because of that hill. And how about we do 40 and see how that looks. Wendover North to Tola. This is gonna be Tola Food Distro. And of course we need a need a truck station. There we go. And a truck stop for the food. Let's just deliver somewhere around here maybe. And we will do... we also need a road depot. We can have that here. Sure. And that will be just, let's just go for 2 DMGs for now. We'll make a new line. Easy peasy. Tow law. Tow law food delivery. Of course, we should wait forever at the station. And that should also happen here. We only want to bring food as well from Wendover North to Tola. And just for good measure, we only want to drop off food. Waiting for a free path. I would like it to use 3 as the primary. And then it can also go to 4 if necessary, but 3 will be the primary. Which does mean it shares with South Cave and stuff, but I think that is going to be okay. We'll have to see, I guess. We're overflowing a bit on grain now. With that extra, so maybe we get an extra grain supply too as well. Where is the other one? It is sort of arriving at Ashton under Lynn soon, so yeah, that might be a decent enough time to get another one. Cool. Of course, the Tola food train is gonna be waiting a little bit. Because food isn't really prepared for it yet. So we might want to send it out just to sort of free up the station for the Wendover and Corby and South Cave trains. Just sort of logistics wise. And this somehow has a piece of iron on it. No clue how, but it does. But hopefully that, if I just send it on its way, it's never gonna happen again. We can hope. We're looking, Corby. Good on con mats. Could use some more food. That is hopefully coming. Does seem like the Conmat's distribution here to South Cave is looking like it's running pretty good. Stone supply running at 319. Not really any weight at the quarry. And what do we have? Conmat's feeder 217 and Corby Conmat's 133. So mostly surprised by this. It says it's running 133, but Corby is only like accepting 90. So I don't know if that's just because that's how much it wants. What's happening here? Well, that's the food because they were waiting maybe. So they all left pretty much simultaneously. Don't know. How is our passenger transportation going? It's making money. It's a decent amount of people wanting to go. Are we at a point where we need to increase the capacity? A little bit of people are leaving and a lot of people are getting in. Not many people left over at the station, so probably no need to increase the capacity there. We might want to increase the capacity on this guy though. Yeah, we don't mind if he goes down to 47. But we might as well get some of all those conmats to our our cargo hub. Also because Wendover can definitely take it and wants it, but also then we can probably get it to Boroughbridge at some point. Now, how is this looking? We are basically transporting everything, which is good. We are overkilling it on the rate, which means that we are basically spending money on empty cars. There's 2 remedies for that. Remedy number 1, get fewer cars. Remedy number 2, hook up this other farm to Boroughbridge. Probably right now, let's just get rid of some cars. That dropped about 30, so if we get rid of 1 more, that should land us at 200 pretty much. Yep. So we'll just go for that. And that's gonna save us a bit money. Might as well, right? How are we looking? South Cave Goods Distro. Little low on goods. How are we doing with regards to goods production? I mean, compared to transfer rate, I think we're relatively okay. But we are being supplied evenly, it seems. But we have a lot of steel just waiting here, so we should probably manage vehicles, get at least 2 more onto here. 90 rate. What is the plastics ones running? They're running at 84. Probably want to get a few more on plastics too. And this guy, of course, let's get a building just so that we're sure we don't lose anything. I think, yeah, this is an A3 and it's max length to our stations. So the only way we can increase the steel rate up here is to get another train onto the tracks. Which, I mean, wouldn't be the end of the world, but it does require a little bit of finagling that I guess we could do if we needed to. We don't seem to be overloading this drop-off point just yet, so no need for a station, truck stop, truck station, whatever. Yeah, we'll have to. I mean, this guy comes in just a sec. Let's just get 2 more. Might as well go to 10. Would expect sort of North Leech to need it as well. But I guess not. Oh well. It don't matter. Still a lot of food. That's not the food train, it was just here, okay. The toll off food distribution is going to arrive soon. How are we looking up here? We don't have enough grain. So that, hopefully starting to feel the effects of that increase in rate sort of soon. What I was more interested in was this number here, consumers toll all, so it is sending some food down there. Question is just how fast, I guess, how big of a train can we or should we use? How is this going? It's quite... I mean, it is a relatively slow train. I guess we could bump up the speed if we were to change it to the newer cars, because the BLM can do 60, right? On flat, and it's pretty flat up here. So we could bump the rate like that if we wanted to, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. It was just to get rid of some coal, make sure that this one doesn't disappear, and then we earn a little money. We are producing some steel in case we end up needing it sort of relatively close by. Don't care too much, to be honest. A single piece of food, though, for toll law so far. And waiting for those goods which have been sent. Okay. So are we there yet with Corby? How are we looking? So bricks are there. Con mats, they're there. Emissions we couldn't do too much about, which is unfortunate. So we do need to increase the food. And can we even increase it much more than... I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit. If we take a look at this land use layer, you see we are starting to get some level 3s. There's a level 3 here, residential. So hopefully we get some... I'm not sure if these are... I mean, to be honest, these are probably level 2s. We need level 3s in order to get that 4th one, so it needs to expand a little bit more. But we are starting to get some level 3s even though it's residential, so we are definitely on our way. And emissions, an average of 73. I don't know if we look again, to have some that are very bad. Oh, that's North Leech. I mean, these that are very good, what are those? Those are at 73, and that's the average. We can't really go lower than that, can we? Not without going back in time. I mean, we could. I guess these can be used for passengers as well. We didn't have to go from... Oh well. $61 emission. We could replace them all and then... No, but that's not gonna allow us to get the rate of stone that we are doing. Both because I'm pretty sure the DMG is 1.5 loading speed, so the loading speed would be reduced. But then actually it's only the loading speed, because if they were driving slower, there would be more time to load. So it's pretty much only the loading speed that sort of messes up that equation, unfortunately. Okay, so South Cave is not completely fulfilled now. Now that we reduced this to about 215. Do have sort of slight... How did we get food down here? Upper Corby. Load until forever. Only pick up. Con mats. Never unload. And feeder here, manage line, Corby, load forever, only pick up con mats, never unload. That is interesting. How did that happen? How did that get down there? It's actually, how is that connected directly to the station? That's wild. That's... okay, I did not see that. But that's why, so it threw down one food here because it was slightly underserviced. In this one up here. That's funny. I don't know if it's funny, but it's definitely interesting. Okay, we are starting to get a little bit better on the food. How are things looking here? Just said a little bit. Oh yeah, of course it is full, so that's good. There's some leftovers. This is the food district for Tola. If we send it off, let's do that. If we send it off, then we can sort of see if it matches up with the rate. Because now it was just delivered some. If it's sent off and everything sort of works out in that regard, then when it comes back and it has stuff left for it, so to speak, then we know we're golden. Just a little curious. Okay, we're actually doing pretty good on the goods to Hallstead. Fuel is one of the things we don't have right now anywhere near us here, so that might be a future project, depending on when Wendover becomes a 6-component city or 6-cargo type city, or depending on what Corby wants. I mean, if Corby wants fuel, then we're probably gonna get some fuel down here. So we did end up fixing the bottleneck here, it seems. But our machines and goods are at least on a not the best type of schedule. I see. They're sharing it right now, which is an issue because this one wants to wait forever. Let's full load if there's any. Wait for 3 minutes and then we'll go. I think we are slightly under rate on goods, so that should be fine. It's quite interesting to me though that, oh, I guess we're sending most of our machines, we're sending those to Ashton and Lynn, aren't we? We are, and we're just throwing them away down here. Throw down a little building here so that doesn't happen, but also let's just manage the vehicles. These guys has been running for 51 years. God damn. That is something. Just get another one. Yeah, those are going to the food supply, and that makes sense. Come on, Corby. I feel like we're close. I feel like we're pretty close with the food there. I mean, I was gonna say it does seem like it's building up, but the food train just left, so that's difficult to say for sure. are still sort of under-delivering here, and we are a little low on bricks or con mats, or a little low on stone. I mean, we can try with one more. Maybe one more is sort of the magic number per se. The annoying part is just so I do like the system of that the simulation figures out what to go where, but it is slightly annoying sometimes that you can't sort of help the ratio along a little bit, because I mean, consumer-wise, Wendover 117, South Cave 57. Okay, so why does this station have almost 200 for this? Obviously it's because this rate here is too low, but it's just annoying that I can't say, okay, or that they can't figure out themselves. Okay, then just use that guy's supply. No? I mean, because this is 49, a rate of 49. But it's giving me 57, so why doesn't it fit? It's a little bit annoying. It's probably because it's slightly too fast, right? Yeah. So 10 minutes. It's a little bit under a full period. So it got to stretch, I guess. So Corby Con Mats 109. Probably a little overkill, it seems. We at least aren't doing enough. Giving it enough. This is the final level. If it could take 400, then it would be full, which is just, we gotta get that last couple of drops of stone out of here, and the only way we can do that is to get new trucks that has a higher loading speed, or trains. Or trams, I guess. Could build a tram. I mean, also just because we don't have one. But then, actually don't think that you can do cargo trams in the base game. So yeah, so that is also a thing. It's only for passengers, I'm pretty sure, in the base game. There are some mods that add cargo trams, but yeah, so that's not really, that's not what's gonna be for us, for this at least. Oh, food is getting there. Food is really good now, but then con mats has dropped just a little bit. How unfortunate. I think at this point it's just a matter of time. So question, should we just speed up time? I mean, we have about, oh, now they're both falling a little bit again. So this is, we're right on the cusp, basically. The question is, should we speed up time? And we have about 20 minutes left of this episode if we're to stick to our usual length, which we definitely are. I do want to do that. Huh. There doesn't really seem to be that much of a queue anymore, so maybe it was just a matter of them not distributing themselves well enough. Let's try it another one then. Maybe if we just drop them in sporadically, we can raise this. But yeah, so about 20 minutes, and what I'm thinking is that we'll look into the goods. This setup up here, maybe we'll double the... Oh, it happened. It happened, guys. We did it. Just one, but that's okay. Machines. I would not be surprised if it was gonna be goods then as well. Yeah, goods. I would not, yeah, I'm not surprised. So goods, goods and machines. I think goods requires the least. So let's just see if we can't do that. I'm gonna say real quick, but it's probably not gonna be like real quick. But let's just do what's necessary, right? We'll double track our plastics line. Then we at least have that. Guess that's as good as it gets. And then we need some signals. Somewhere along here. Oh, we forgot to make this guy. So in the middle is somewhere around here. But yeah, it's also just gonna make us some money. Did I do something wrong there? No, I think that's right. North leads plastics. Why are you being like that? So there is a way to get on there. We don't have to, oh, right. Then we just need, do we care, do we want to make it double? Yeah. Cares, it's not really that much money. Might as well. 200k. There we go. North Leach Plastics. Boom. And then we just gotta copy that train basically. And rate-wise, it would be better if we waited until he was all the way to the oil station. So I think we're gonna try and do that. And while we do that, we need the other part of the goods equation, which is steel. Now we do could do this. Doesn't look the best. It just doesn't really even out down here either. This is... This is better. Then it evens out eventually. And sure, this is entirely overkill. There's really no need at all to be running 4 tracks in parallel here. But we have a lot of open space, and I can't really be bothered to do anything fancy. So we're not going to. This does pose a slight issue. This building here, so we'll just get rid of that. It's not being used right now anyways, so I think that's gonna be fine. Let's add some extra tracks here to the station, and then we'll just pause real quick, get rid of these. Sure, it's 96 going into the station. I mean, this curve here is annoying. It's 97 when they're going out, or I mean, when I guess they always have to stop, so it doesn't matter. They always have to stop, so it doesn't matter. Cool. And then we'll just go down to this guy. There's no point in making an extra track there, but we do want some signals just sort of in the middle, right? Did I place that wrong? No, I placed it right. And in the middle is somewhere like here. Now, why does Northleach Steel not like this? Did I forget to do it? Yep. Forgot to do this slippage or whatever you want to call it on the other side. So that is fine right there. And this one is almost in its hub. So we want it to just be on its way back a little bit, right? Yeah, probably do. So that should double that rate, which should be able to double the goods once we then... We do need to set up a truck stop. We're gonna do that without... I was gonna say without this railway crossing, but the railway crossing isn't real. It's just for getting trains onto this. At least for now it isn't real, but if we ever want to take anything from the cargo hub and up to Chesterley Street, it's gonna have to become real, or Northleach, it's gonna have to become real. Although we might change it up a bit and go through a mountain here instead of avoiding it. Nah, it's the scenic route. Let's just do it over here. Might as well. Okay, and we can make this one duplicate now. No depot. Okay. Just like that. Cool. That's annoying. and entirely unnecessary. Isn't a train coming out? Where's the train coming out? Or is it gonna come out down here? That would be so... No, where is it? God damn. What happened to my train? Oh, we're paused. I mean, of course I could just add a waypoint. But what would be the point of that? I mean, I can just add a signal here if I want to, right? Yeah. Then I might as well add the other one too. Just for sort of whatchamacallit, symmetry. Okay, truck station somewhere here needs 2. It's gonna be 2 drop-offs. It's not gonna be terribly complicated. But then again, it probably is, right? I would prefer if they didn't cross each other. So if we place them here, and it's gonna be yeah, I should have done that. Let's get rid of it, and then we'll let it disappear. But pause this guy, manage vehicles, get another one. Yes, please. Where's the other one? All the way down here. Good. And he heads into South Cave immediately. Good. That was actually less expensive than I had anticipated. We do have a lot of money. Let's just get rid of our loan. Whoops. I didn't mean to borrow. I meant to repay. There we go. No more loan. No point in having a loan at this point, right? Oh no, Corby! But you guys, you did see it. It was there. It was there. So we just have to get those last few steps. I think we can throw on another one of these guys. It is the food that's not like quite there. Are we having any sort of delays? We have a food train coming there. We have a machine train just leaving. A grain train on its way. Grain tray on its way back. Food tray coming there. Food train on its way back. We're doing 200 food. With Corby... Oh, it's Tola. It's Tola eating it. Again, this is what I don't get. Why does it want to get so many for Tola when I wanted to go to Corby? So there's an easy fix. get rid of the tow law train. Or at least depot it for now. Oh, something new. I think it's a tram, but we'll see. We could get rid of the tow law train. That would probably be the easiest, or wonder where it is though. Tow law food distro train. It's waiting here. For what? Oh, okay, for that. Yeah, I think. Can I even get him to a depot? No, I can't. I'm gonna get rid of him. Just because I want Corby to be 4 cargo types, and then I would rather try and get more. I would rather want to get more food up here than before we get tow law then. And I think the way forward with that is we just add this farm. We add this farm to Borbridge, and then we make these trains longer again. And we maybe increase the rate on the ones that are running here. Could make them faster trains too. I mean, they're running PLMs. They could be upgraded to A5 or 3.5s. Speaking of upgrade, I want to see what this new thing was. Gaggenau C4. Okay, so it's a passenger, it's a bus. C40. 40 kilometers an hour. That is quite the jump. Hopefully we get a truck for cargo that does the same speeds relatively soon. That would be amazing. It's slightly less emission too, so maybe we just do the replacements. Probably next time though. Let's pause here real quick, get rid of this, and then just as a final thing before we end this episode, we are going to try and make something interesting here. No, that's not what I wanted. An exit, an entrance, and an exit, and a road. Why is it not possible though? Can we get rid of this crossing then? Seems we can. Configure, let's get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Terminals. Steel onto. How does it look? It's the wrong way around. That's fixable. And it's the same thing here, I think. No, this one isn't fixable. Except for this crossing here. The crossing here is fixable. Let's configure. So entrances up here. I mean, we can have the entrance here. Then the exit, why won't it let me have that? That's annoying. Let's get rid of this road then. And we'll have to somehow get those... have to be able to get back up there. So yeah, I just want to see what that does. If we do steel, that would look like that. That would also look, it would look the same if we went in up here. It would. So don't really see any point in doing that. How about the plastics? Then the plastics have that crossing. I guess what happened is we turned this the wrong way around. Let's try and see if we can't do it if we turn it the other way. Entrance and exit. There's a bit of a hill. That might be why it's complaining. And we'll do the same on the other side. Come on. I mean, I know they need to be opposite. What happened? Okay. Let's see here. I mean, that would be good if it wasn't on the wrong one. Technically it's not an issue that they overlap in this way. It's not going to cause congestion, it just looks silly. So maybe we do that and just be happy there. Obviously this needs to be connected. So let's add a bit of a service road here. There we go. we can start things up again, and this is gonna make sure that we can handle the increase in production that we're gonna have, and thus in drop-offs. Is this Chesterley Street Annex? It is. Where did the second train? It's just stuck here because it has some coal somehow. I don't know, maybe it's just the maiden voyage. Maybe it happened the first time with this line. It happened with the other line, and it is happening now. So maybe it's the first time, it just doesn't quite know how to do it. It's weird, but I guess it is a possibility. Should definitely be getting more plastics though. Very, very nice. Unfortunately for Corby, it has not caught up yet. But we did see it. We know what is in store for us. And we know what we're gonna do next time. That is increase food even more, so we can get tow law up and running with food as well, and have Corby be the way that we want it to be. On a final sort of stretch, final little tidbit here, let's just fix the South Cape delivery here. We'll manage the line, tell him to wait forever, and then this guy is just gonna be con mats. Con mats. And then we'll make a new line, South Cave to this new stop Church Road. This will be South Cave goods delivery. And of course we need, I think probably a little less, probably like 3 on the goods delivery, and then we probably want to get 2 more for the Conmats delivery. And then of course they are split into different terminals now, which is good. So that is everything for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had as good a time as I did. We got Corby up there. I know it's not there now, but we saw it. It's goods and it's machines. So we upgraded goods. That's gonna be coming into us next time, and then we're also gonna be looking at machines. It's been a while since we looked at it, so that's definitely gonna be interesting. We should be able to completely satiate Ashton under Lynn, and then still get some to Wendover, of course some to Corby, and maybe we'll even bring some up here to Northleach with Eastington. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I wish we could have just one last turn.